Welcome to Sister Sessions, a podcast where two sisters on very different journeys explore what it means to live spiritually in today's world. My sister, Jenny Fairbank, is the co-founder and spiritual director of Wisdom Pathways, a yoga and meditation teacher, and a somatic healer devoted to guiding others toward inner peace. And I'm Susie Gustin, a mom of three, producer and owner of Red City Live Entertainment, embracing life's joys while searching for deeper meaning. Together, we have honest, relatable conversations about finding balance, purpose, and connection in everyday life. So settle in. You are exactly where you need to be. Welcome to Sister Sessions.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sister Sessions podcast, where the divine meets the everyday. Today, we're celebrating our 1-year anniversary with something very special. Woohoo! The Round Table, a gathering of past voices, present reflections, and the magic that happens when we all sit together. We want to begin with gratitude. This show has been shaped by conversations that moved us, held us, and helped us grow. We are so grateful to each person who's been a part of our 1 year. And first, I'd like to thank those who have not joined us today due to their very busy and productive schedules. It's hard to get everyone in one space at one time. First, I'd like to thank Ashanaya Swami, Stephen Ross, Anjali, Zahira, Christina Mergante, Eben, Joe King, Tara DeFrancisco, Gina De Matteo, Case Erickson, Christina Crow, and Marie Camiso. We'd like to thank you for your voices, your wisdom, and your presence, and it has deeply shaped this space. Today, we're especially grateful for those past guests joining us at the table. We have Karen Kubico, Nicole Thurman, Gigi Chiarello, Frank Vitale, and Melinda Rothaus. We may have a surprise guest. Tammy Prendergast may be stopping in if she's able to. If not, we're sending her the love too. But I don't want to forget about my sister, Jenny Fairbank, and my co-host. Hi, Jenny.
Hello, my sister. I'm crying.
Oh, she's getting her emotions. I love it.
So grateful.
I love it. Well, we are so honored to have you all here. This episode isn't about revisiting the past. It's about honoring what's been created and inviting what's next to unfold. So wherever you're listening from, pull up a seat and take a breath. This is Sister Sessions.
Might be nice for all of us to take a nice big breath together. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Arriving here and now in this beautiful moment, opening our hearts, our spirits, and filling our energy with love and light. Thank you all for who are listening and who are here with us in spirit and in body.
Well, I would like to start with a little roundtable question. Looking back, I'd like to ask everyone for their voice on this. Let's start with Melinda. Hi, Melinda.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm so glad I could join.
Yes, we're so glad you're here as well. Do you want to, for listeners that may have missed your episode, do you want to give them a little bit about who you are?
Yeah. So I wear a lot of different hats. I'm also a podcaster. I have a show called the Syncreate Podcast, Empowering Creativity, where we look at the intersections of creativity, psychology, and spirituality. I also teach psychology and creativity studies, and I'm a musician. So I do a lot of different things, also coaching and consulting. So just finished my semester at the university, posted my final grade. So I am unwinding for the holidays. Yes.
Awesome. Well, that is so exciting. And so my first question does go out to you. Looking back, what is one moment or feeling from your individual episode on Sister Sessions that has stayed with you?
Love it. I mean, I think the biggest thing is just hanging out with the two of you and chatting and, sharing a little bit about what I do, but mostly just the connection and the opportunity. It was so great to be with you all. And I've had Jenny on my show as well, along with Steven, her collaborator. So it's great to be able to, go on each other's shows and share the love.
I
Yes.
love that.
That was it's so powerful to be in these kinds of like pods together, because we talk about things that we don't necessarily talk about when we're just having regular conversations as friends, and we can go even deeper, and then other people can, kind of be in our energy with us. It's just such a beautiful way to connect. I just absolutely love podcasting. I think everyone should do it.
It
There's
is such
plenty
a
out there. There's
journey.
the more the merrier. That's how I say it.
Yeah. And it is such an interesting opportunity to connect with different people in different ways, as you say, Jenny, and always kind of a evolving learning experience, as well, as I'm sure the two of you can attest, starting a show and developing it and, kind of seeing how it evolves over time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we didn't even originally plan to interview people. Our original plan, which was Susie's idea. This is all my magical creative sister Susie's idea of, hey, do you want to start a podcast with me? And my bandwidth is limited like everybody's. And I said, well, I would love to. And the only way is if I don't have
do everything.
if I don't have to like do the back end stuff, and I can just show up and be a part of it 100%. And
Yeah.
he took on that amazing role, and wow, and then, how fun. We were just going to have conversations with the two of us, right, Susie? Like it was
Yeah.
your idea to talk about spirituality and everyday life, because our lives are so very different, her and I. I come from this spiritual lens all the time, and she comes from being a mom in a material world and living in that life that's so different than the way I live. And bringing people on took it to a whole nother level, of course. And so important, I feel, to hear so many other voices.
Yeah. It's been amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much, Melinda.
Absolutely.
All right, Frankie, want to tell, before you answer the question of what stayed with you since you've done the podcast, you want to tell the listeners a little bit about you as well, your background?
You're on mute.
I am on mute. Sorry about that. I am a chef by trade and a restaurateur. I've had a restaurant for 10 and a half years now. It's been quite a ride, very successful. I'm also a yoga practitioner, teacher, Reiki practitioner, and a recovering addict. And my mission in life is to give other recovering addicts hope. What stayed with me the most is me being vulnerable. It's always nervous putting myself out there with situations that came in, or experiences, I should say, in my life, and the response was amazing. Whoever watched it, but just to being with you guys and connecting even deeper with our relationships, as we have, both a special connection with both of you, and it was very special, and it's an honor to be here.
Awesome. Thank you, Frankie.
You're welcome.
You're I mean, I cry in every episode. Let's be honest. I'm
Yeah, I'm
used to tears.
yeah.
But yours, I think, I cried the most,
Okay.
probably, in your episode. It was so powerful, and to share such a vulnerable story, and to if you haven't listened to it, you guys need to listen to Frankie's episode. It was, I mean, all the episodes are so good. It's Frankie having that kind of experience and that kind of depth, that you are so deep in a way which, I don't know. It's something different than I've seen with other people. And maybe that's one of the reasons why we feel so connected. Your depth is it's a wellspring. And I just love you so much. You know that. So I just have to say it.
Love you too.
Thank you, Frankie.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
Nicole. Tell us a little bit about yourself and then what stayed with you since you've done the sister session.
The session. So Nicole Thurman, I currently, for the next 2 weeks, live in Austin, Texas, with my wife and pup, who's currently at Jenny's. We're in the process of moving to Hawaii. I have recently left corporate America, where I've spent about 20 years in corporate sales and have a past in the nonprofit world internationally, have kind of lived all over working in anti-human trafficking. And we're in the process of kind of leaving, I guess, the very typical life. I opened a company back in May where I help, you could essentially say I do consulting, but I have a company, Point Break Growth Partners, helping small and mid-sized companies grow and scale and make more revenue in an integrous way, in a human-first way, the way that I've always operated. And we're in the process of living out our dreams. So recently we have made the decision and had a huge open door to move back to the Hawaiian Islands, where we intend and hope and pray to serve the people of Hawaii like they have given to us. We've lived there previously, and so we are hoping to go and give back in many different ways. So to be continued on that story. What stood out to me most about being on Sister Sessions was the space that you both have created to hear the depths of people's stories. And with no agenda, with no advertisement to make money on, but you genuinely want to hear stories. And saying that, I have chills all up and down my body because it's powerful to hear someone's story. And I tell my story often. I've had a lot of tragic years, difficulties since, childhood up through some tragedies where I went through a lot of pain. My formative years, near-death experience, and a lot of stuff that nobody really hopes to go through. And I think what stood out to me most was in the session, I think I just had this aha moment of what surrender truly is. And it's doing a retro. If you haven't done a retro of your life, doing a retro within a certain amount of time for an audience that you don't know publicly, it's a powerful thing. And for me, it showed me that surrendering all control and being in the flow is the ultimate goal and dream in life. And it's where we live our best. So thank you for opening that door for me to be able to walk through and retro my life and to recognize yet again how I'm able to live this dream in this life. So thank you both. Love you truly both dearly.
Nicole. Thank you.
Yeah. And thank you, Frankie. I just want to say real quick, also former addict, gone through a lot myself. So I wish we could sit down and have a cup of coffee.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe one day.
Yeah, we could Zoom, whatever. That'd be awesome.
I would love that.
Me too.
I would actually love
Me
that.
too.
Thank you.
Connect. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Okay, Gigi. Would you like to tell the audience a little bit about your background and then what stuck with you since you have done the Sister Sessions podcast?
Absolutely. Thank you both for not just hosting this space, but then bringing us all together. That feels extra sweet because we see each other individually, and yet to then come together in a little pod feels extra special. So thank you both. My name is Gigi Chiarello, and I started out my adult life in the corporate world. And after about a decade, swung to the other side to explore my spiritual life and in a deeper way. So my journey has taken me all over the globe, studying with many different traditions and spiritual masters, and coming back to myself and really embodying the teachings, which are really all about love and returning to that inner peace. And in that space, that connection to everyone. So the work that I'm doing in the world right now, I started a nonprofit last year called Illuminating Source. And it's about supporting people and coming back to the truth of who they are, and then allowing that to shine forth into the world. Because I really believe that we each come into this life with unique gifts that are meant to be shared for all that is being created during our lives and with one another. And we so often get pulled into so many different directions from the way we're raised or the people that we're surrounded by or our societies and cultures. And my work is to support people in coming back to that inner voice that they know, and listen to that and bring that forth into the world. So the nonprofit is available to support all with the tools that are being offered through it. And I have two kittens here with me. So they will have cameos from time to time.
I love that.
And
They're
and it
welcome.
was such a beautiful experience meeting you both pretty much live on the podcast itself. And a little tidbit into me, I have a Scorpio moon, so I tend to kind of keep my personal life more towards myself. And so this was the first time, not only that I was sharing my journey with two people who I was just meeting, but then also putting it out there for anyone to listen to. So that was a big step for me, in revealing my inner self, or beginning to, anyways.
Wow.
So I appreciate the space, the safe space that you both create, and really encourage an opening for your guests as well as for your listeners. So thank you.
Thank you,
Wow.
Gigi. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't realize that. Thank you for sharing that. And I know it takes a lot of courage to be on a podcast, be interviewed. It's a lot of vulnerability, and to be open enough to share with us whom you've just met, and then also, yes, the broader audience, of course. You never know who's going to be listening. And thank you for that. That's such an honor for us. Thank you.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yes. Oh, Karen, we didn't forget about you. I see you down there. My screen is so like scattered and cute. I love it. All these faces everywhere. Karen, would you like to share with the audience a little bit about yourself and what stuck with you with being on Sister Sessions?
Hi, I'm Karen Cubico, and I do put on my online stuff. I'm a past life regression expert, and so I have written a few books to help people get comfortable with utilizing that as a tool for healing. When I got the unique opportunity to work with Susie and Jenny on their podcast, it was such a fun time. Like, we were just old friends chit chatting about life in general. I mean, we delved into talking about our spirit guides and angels, near death experiences, and, of course, past lifetimes and stuff like that. So it was so wonderful just to share that information, because if it inspires just one person, I think we've done our job, you know?
Amen to that,
I
100%.
couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. Yeah. Thank you so much, Karen. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start this off with a question, and I'm going to shoot the question to my sister. And we'll let Jenny just let's just start a conversation. Let's see where it goes. Please feel free to interject, and let's just chat it up. All right, Jenny, what part of yourself are you just beginning to understand this year? Now that we're at the end of the year and you look back, is there something that has opened up?
Yes, yes. Well, it actually started before this year began, but this whole year, for sure, what has really opened up for me, we've lived in Northern California now just a year in the end of September. So it's a whole year where we've lived in the mountains, and it's quiet, and peaceful, and I'm alone. I mean, I'm online a lot with clients, but I'm alone physically besides a dog, all day long, 10 hours every day. And I know has opened up for me this year is a deeper sense of my self-love, how much I love myself, how much I love to be in my own presence, and I don't need anyone else to fulfill me, which is quite, I think, new for me in a way of feeling that my spouse, my husband, whom I've been with longer, more than half my life, um, not that he has completed me or anything, but like I could never imagine my life without him. Not that I still can to a degree, but there's a degree of feeling so empowered and comfortable with myself that I know that I could be alone if I needed to. So that's been really powerful for me this year.
Yeah. That's huge.
Yeah. It feels really great to know that I don't need anybody ultimately, even though I do want other people in my life. Yeah.
Does anyone relate to this at all?
Nicole, you're muted.
Nicole, you're muted.
I've been coughing a bit, so I keep muting myself. I agree, Jenny. I mean, Karen, my wife's name's Karen as well. We've been talking about just this recent season we've been in as we've kind of left whatever mainstream normal is, and we still live in a very bustling city. And I kind of laugh that like we don't really go anywhere. We don't go do anything. I mean, I just turned 40. She's 47. We used to go out all the time and do things and be around people. And I'm an extrovert of extroverts, right? I'm very extroverted. I love people. And I don't know what's transpired, but I think there's just been a piece about the solitude and and protecting it as well, right? And there's so much in the inner world. Everything inner shapes the outer, right? Everything. It doesn't start from anywhere else but inside of us, in my belief. And so I think for me, it's experiencing the self-love. It's letting go of things that weren't serving me, like overperformance probably often in my, my work life, and just what happens in that place of being still. I mean, yeah, sure. Sometimes shadows come out and you see sides of yourself. You're like, oh, wow. But there's also a lot of beauty. And I feel like I'm getting to know myself in ways that I never allowed myself to know myself, because I think maybe there was some fear there. And so, Jenny, to your point, now we don't live in a rural area yet, but we live like we do. And I think that, there's a reason monks live the way they do. There's a reason people go on these sojourns and travel and pilgrimage. I mean, there's everything in life comes from that. So I fully agree. It's transformative. And I will say, you don't have to live in the mountains away from civilization. You can live in the middle of a city and live like that, if you choose, if it serves you and it's helpful.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I have to ask, that makes me think about Frankie. Frankie, being that you own this very busy restaurant that you're in daily, nightly, how do you find that grounding when you have constant energy, like high energy between the kitchen and then you go out in the front of the house and you have the guests that are two different types of excitement coming at you? One is like relaxation and fun, and the other one's like, we're on a time limit and we got to get this done.
Right. So it's been especially quite a challenge. This past year has been such a fantastic learning experience for me. I went from a roughly 50-seat restaurant to a 175 plus seat restaurant, full bar area, banquet area. So it's been 8 employees to 40 plus employees. So it's been quite a challenge. I call it a learning experience because I learned a lot. And it's very satisfying for me to be successful at this point because, well, I've been like the underdog my whole life. So with addiction, not only that, people are like, oh, are you going to be able to do it? You have a small place. Why are you doing it? Are you sure you can do it? And in my heart, I know I could. I ran other places that big, but that's just satisfying, and that fueled the fire. How I deal with all the insanity, which is daily, almost every minute, is wake up, meditate, go to yoga, and be. Susie asked what like one quote or whatever, and I try to live by this. It's very hard, and I'm sure all you guys will agree. Is like be in the moment for it is all that truly exists, and it goes even deeper in that. When I tried to commit suicide this last time. Uh, I was sick of shooting heroin, disgusted with life. I was done. So I tried to take my life, and fortunately, I was visited by a couple beings. I don't know, they're my guardian angels or whatever, and they gave me a message and said, "It's not your time. We love you. Follow the signs." And literally from that moment, the signs come they come daily if I'm in the present moment. And truly, I believe every answer is in the present moment. We have everything within us, and if we just follow the signs, and I've been doing that. That was a little over 11 years ago. And one of the signs came 15 minutes later. A guy I lived with at a 3-quarter house 2 years before that. I haven't spoken to him in 2 years. Texts me out of the blue. "How are you? Please give me a call." He just so happened to work in a treatment facility. I was in rehab the next day, and just constant. I could go on and on and on and on, but that's how I deal with it. And at night I come review my day and meditate again, and that's what keeps me sane. And my wife also she's a very grounding person, so she's been is a huge and part of my success. She's a very grounding. She's a Taurus. I'm a Scorpio, and so we're on opposite ends of the spectrum. But she balances me out, and then Reiki as well. I just the Reiki. I perform Reiki on myself daily, but when I get to the chaos, I try to be in the present moment as much as possible. That's how I deal with it.
Love it.
Wow. Wow.
You're such an
I'm going
inspiration,
to ask
Frankie.
Karen, what comes to my mind with you in this conversation is you talk to so many people every day, and you have to be
I
so
do.
focused on one specific person. And I'm sure I could imagine, I'm not, I mean, I'm not, I don't know, but I would imagine that people are coming to you specifically with an expectation. Like they want to feel a certain way. They want to hear something. They want some messages and all of that. How do
Sure.
you then stay Karen and stay focused and centered with yourself when you're constantly giving so much?
Oh, wow. Well, first I have to comment on Nicole's note. She mentioned our inner world creates our outer world, and I so love that. First of all, thank you for sharing that. I mean, it's so I had to mention because I was going to come on and talk anyway,
Oh,
Susie.
please do.
But
Anybody, jump in.
yes, thank you for having us. I guess speaking to focusing on your inner world. I mean, I feel like most of us who are even listening and all of us on this podcast right this second, when you go within, we're a spiritual being first, and we are human once in a while, right? And so when I'm working with people, because since you asked the question, Susie, I literally am setting my humanness aside, and I try not to put my human opinion in anyone's stuff because it's everyone's business and everyone's where they're at in the world at this moment, in this now, what they're experiencing, and I try to understand what they're going through, and then I'm working with all their spirit guides and angels to provide whatever information is going to help them in some best way, whatever experience that they're choosing to have with me, whether it's through a past life experience or for me to provide information with the spirit guides or angels on maybe what their future might hold, or what explains a relationship, or whatever the case may be. So, but maintaining that sense of self is important too, because I also need a break, you know what I mean? And some self-care and self-love on a regular basis so that I can keep doing what I'm doing. Um, the most important thing that I ever have and come across, and I feel like this was guided information from the angelic realm, is that if you're working with people all the time and you feel depleted on a regular basis, that you're giving your own personal life force energy to help them feel better. Instead, I was recommended to, on behalf of me doing the work that I'm doing, angels, can you provide any energy that someone might need in any level and in any way on my behalf, so that I can continue to sustain my own personal energy to help the next person and the next person and the next person. I
Mhm.
mean,
Nice.
that has helped immensely with everything that I do, honestly.
Mm.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Because
Are
I
you talking?
think Jenny has obviously, as she's a channeler, and we
Yeah.
talk often about that experience as she's channeling and when she's coming kind of back into her Jenny human self. I'm curious to know because often, right? I'm sure, Karen, do you consider yourself a channeler?
I do channel sometimes too.
You
Yes.
do. Okay. So that higher self or that spirit being that lives way beyond this physical body and mental capacities, would you say that it, when you're operating out of that place, it actually doesn't deplete you?
No. It
That's the,
should. It should
and Jenny,
never
would you
deplete.
agree?
Right.
Yeah, that's so fascinating to me. And
And
I
I
think
mean,
that's an indicator, right? When you're using yourself versus your higher self or the spirit guides
well, I
beyond.
mean, my personal experience with channeling, and I know I witnessed Jenny. So when I witnessed it, I literally could see exactly who I was
Mm.
talking to through Jenny in the place that they were
Wow.
at. And so, um,
Wow.
when yeah, it's awesome. It's so beautiful. I didn't want to stop, but I
But
was like being mindful of the time. But when I've channeled angels and my own spirit guides and other people, other beings from other places, I always feel illuminated, vibrant, healed,
mm.
always. I mean, and I guess when I've met people who are psychics and they're exhausted afterwards, I'm like, I mean, you got to come from that higher source connection that we are all part of in order to do the work.
Yes.
So, big
So
question, can we, all of us, live
Yes.
out of that place
I
all
don't
the
see why
time?
not. I
Absolutely.
mean, Nicole, you've had a near death experience. I mean, you've made the connection, right?
Mm. Mhm.
So you can't go back from that. And so, and I think Frank, you mentioned that too. You
Mhm.
connected with the other side in such a deep way.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a reawakening of who we truly are on a soul level,
Mm.
and a reminder that we're just a human once in a while.
Yeah, and you're right, Karen, you can't go back from that. That's a point
Mm-mm.
in your life that is one of the truest experiences that you might ever
100%.
have as a human. You know, in that sense of touching the higher realms, being in the higher
Touching the
realms.
divine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's so powerful.
Yeah.
it's
But the
awesome.
ego is too, right? And so that's even going through that and living in that place. And Frankie, I'm sure I've also attempted suicide and, years ago, like you still have to battle it. And I say battle, that's such a harsh thing, but you still have to pause and recognize where the source is because it's so easy to get, you know, engulfed in the physical material realm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
We're all part of source,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
that's a hard thing to remember sometimes.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we're in this realm, we look so separate and individuated and alone, and sometimes we can feel so alone, and that can be really difficult for us because we're our reality, our trueness is oneness, and
Mhm.
we're all craving that, whether we're aware of it or not. Deep
Mm.
down, we're craving to remember our oneness, to know that
Yes.
we are infinitely loved and cared for, and that's
Yeah.
yeah, that's the ultimate.
Well, and Jenny, do you think that's why sometimes you want to connect with so many other people, even if you're doing it virtually, you're still connecting? I think as humans, we always need to connect because we're all connecting with all of us because we're all one in some deep sense, right?
Definitely. I definitely don't have the karma. I'm not ready to go and like hide in the Himalayas and not see anybody, or I could, no way. I'm an extreme extrovert also. However, my evolution of my awakening, my slow gradual awakening, is that I don't need that I don't feel the need for that anymore like I used to. I used to be so over the top, like I have to be busy and with people all the time. Like I couldn't imagine spending an afternoon by myself. Why would I do that when there are people I can hang out with? You know? But Melinda, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, if I could jump in, this is really relevant to something I've been thinking about quite a lot in relation to creativity, but also in our most recent podcast episode, my co-host Charlotte and I were talking about breaking the glass ceiling in our minds, and that how we, you know, we are very expansive, and yet so many people walk around with this limited view of who we are and what we're capable of in any given moment, and therefore we can keep ourselves closed off from opportunities and experiences because we think, who am I to do X, Y, or Z, or these kinds of things. So we were talking about how we can kind of open up those possibilities. And I also think, even just from a psychological perspective, there's such a huge range and palette of potentiality that we all hold within us. But again, we tend to, for various reasons, get so focused on, what's right in front of us, what's the parameters of our life as we know it or as we imagine it, that again, we don't see that full spectrum of possibilities. And the same is true in creativity, which I'm a big proponent of creativity. I believe that we're all creative and we all express that in different ways. And that, if we can kind of get out of our own way, again, talking about the ego and kind of thinking about if we have an aspiration or a goal or something, rather than kind of imposing our will upon what we want to happen, but opening to this wider realm of possibilities, then it's amazing what can happen.
Yes. So how do you stay open to the realm of possibilities?
Well, I think it comes back to what we were just talking about. I also practice and teach mindfulness and meditation, and having a daily practice like that is so important, whatever that looks like for each person. But coming back to that, I like to think of it as like the still point at the center,
Yes.
that everything else like is revolving around all our busy lives and all the things, right? But if we can come back to that still point, um, then we can kind of access that potentiality. But we do have to make somewhat of a concerted effort to, um, you know, tune down all the noise to
Yeah,
get there.
agreed. Thank you for
And
that.
I think this is where and I'm not to plug Wisdom Pathways. I work with Jenny and Stephen, kind of from a business standpoint of just development and managing things, keeping things afloat. But one of the things that they both say all the time is, your soul knows the way, and we're just guides to help you along, kind of reset, keep you on path. And I think that Melinda, to your point, and Jenny and Karen, everybody probably on here, sounds like we all meditate. It's sometimes you need that extra little like bumper to kind of help you, but we all have that within us, right? We all know the way. It's, do we get still enough to actually pay attention?
Yes.
Is what it is.
Gigi?
Yes.
Yeah, so I would love to chime in here. I think that a big piece too in that stilling it really, that starts to come from doing the inner work that is keeping us focused outside of ourselves. Because oftentimes I find that I used to be a Thai massage therapist and also taught it for many years. And one of the things that we learn is that you would never say to a client, just let go, just relax, because they're there to do that. And if you tell them to do that, they're going to tense up because they're going to be like, I don't know how to do that. And so it's really about um, holding the space for people to feel safe, to open. And so that even comes with the returning to self and the quieting, because we are very active in our lives because most people don't want to listen within. And I was actually just having this conversation with somebody the other day. He's like, I'm always listening to podcasts or have the TV going or talking with people because I don't want to listen to my inner voice. And it's also interesting because meditation can look so different for everybody. And for him in particular, he's a potter. And he was saying that when he gets behind the wheel, like everything else disappears. And really encouraging that and letting people know that's meditation as well. And years ago, I dated a surfer. And he's like, I want to be able to sit in meditation like you do. And like, when you go out on the ocean for 5 hours at a time, that is meditation. And really beginning with people where they're already naturally going, and then helping and supporting to create that space to go in. And as we start to look at, the physical pains, because they are signs for us, their information, or the emotions that we tend to rely on, whether it's anger or sadness or whatnot, all of that has information for us to go within and reconnect and kind of work through all that's been built up inside so that we naturally will come back to source. And we'll know that from having done all of the work to get there. Because it's not necessarily going to happen in the flash of a light. It could. But yeah, really turning within and looking and getting curious.
Yeah.
With compassion, like we would with a child or with our dearest friends.
Yeah.
Well said. Yes.
Yeah. Very well said.
Well said.
We're just going to do something really fun really quickly. I asked everyone for a quote because I want to put my sister on the spot because that's what I'm supposed to do. So I'm going to see if Jenny can identify who wrote this quote. Are you ready?
Okay.
All right.
Ready.
The quote is, remember, we're all in this together. Be kind to yourself and to all others. You don't know what they are going through. Forgiveness is key to all healing.
I have two people that I think this could be. And I'm going to go with my first instinct, Gigi.
No.
No. It's Karen. It's Karen.
Yes, ding, ding, ding.
It's Karen.
It's funny. I was inspired to write that for your thing, and I had to go open my email to check. Is that what I said? I think that's what I said. Because I'm given information and then poof, it's gone.
Yeah.
And I'm given information, it's gone.
Do you want to elaborate on that at all?
Awesome.
Like, so remember, we're all in this together. Forgiveness is key to all healing. Do you want to give us anything more of where that inspired from?
Well, so it's back to what we've been talking about. We're all one, right? Experiencing this from a soul level and having this experience as a human. And I want to say at that day, that moment, I was at the grocery store and there was someone in front of me having a hard time dropping stuff and I'm helping them and they're so grateful. And I'm like, we're all in this together. And I truly meant that on a bigger scale. Like if we can't help one another get through all the stuff, the same way that Nicole's helping people with their businesses and Frank's helping people be inspired to overcome things. It's no different. We're all in this together. And I have probably said that to random people 5 or 6 times, and I'm sure they're like, "Wait, what is she talking about?" That's pretty heavy.
You
But
know what?
but
I think it's
in my work though,
comforting.
the forgiveness aspect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
I
if I
mean,
were in a
it's
moment
definitely.
and someone said that to me, I feel like that would instantly bring me some type of comfort.
Well, that's the hope. I was inspired to say that. So, and it just had happened that day when you sent out the original invite. But I know from a bigger perspective, 100% of the time when people are working through some terrible things, trauma stuff, past whatever, it doesn't matter when, in a past life, this lifetime, whenever, when you're forgiving, that's not really, given the okay to someone who has done something to you, but it's releasing any subconscious flow of your personal life force energy to that experience or to that person. And that's what forgiveness is about. It's not letting it control you anymore, in a sense. It's helped so many. It's helped me. It's helped in so many different ways. So yeah, it's all good.
We're
Yeah.
all in
There's
this
also that
together.
I
I
great
love it.
quote. I don't know if it's from Ramdas or I'm not sure who it's from. It might be Ram Dass, but we're all just walking each other home.
That's Ram Dass.
That's love you, Melinda.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
That's
Gigi, you were going to say something.
Yeah, thanks. So I love that idea that we are all in this together. I feel that oftentimes we get so hooked on what's my purpose in life and how am I showing up? And if we're so much as in the grocery store and somebody drops something and we're there, like we're all, like you're saying, like
Yeah.
every single person in that moment has been configured to be there for a purpose, whether it's their own or whether it's to pick something up for somebody else. And as Frank was saying earlier, like listening to those messages are there for us all the time, whether we're choosing to listen to them or not. And as we start to listen to them, we're connecting into that web of connection.
True.
And then things start to flow and show up in different ways because we're now present to and listening and taking inspired action on those messages that we are receiving.
Inspired action. That's a great words. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody talked about having the Sync Create podcast. I think
Yep.
Melinda, you. Like that synchronicity, right? It's no different than what you're talking about, Gigi. Everything happens for a reason. It doesn't feel like that all the time, but it definitely does.
Yeah. I know we're moving on, Susie, probably to the next, but I have to say, in other cultures, if anyone else has lived in other cultures, we in the West are a very isolated culture in that we're so individual. So we're constantly fighting against our very nature, which is to be in community. And, I laughed. I lived in Costa Rica. I've lived in Mozambique, Africa. I've lived in a lot of different places. And when I lived in Costa Rica, this happened more often. You would be on a major road and a car in front of you would stop to talk to someone that was walking by that they knew, like a friend. And you're behind them. And in America, in the United States, we'd be freaking out. Like, what are you doing? Like, come on, I got to pass. Like, pull over at least. But nobody gets upset because there's a value for the collective community. And no matter what's happening, like, oh, no, that's his friend. We'll just wait. Wow. They're talking. And it was so moving when I understood through the eyes of Ticos or Costa Ricans. They say, no, we value this first. Wow. And I'll tell you what, here in the US, it reshapes the way you want to function. But I think we miss opportunities for what we need and desire even by looking past the community to self. So sorry, I as we're talking about the collective, it's vital, I think, for us to continue.
That was great. I love that example, and hearing that actually happens is beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's back to the mindset, right? I mean, we're exposed to that every day. It's what's expected. It's social roles or whatever you want to call it. But that's
And
not
we
how
miss out on the very thing, right, Karen? We miss out on what we actually want. I mean, I was going to visit Jenny, and a lady in the airport stopped me, and now we're doing tons of business together. And if
Wow.
I hadn't stopped to talk to her,
Right.
what would happen?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Chance
Yeah.
meeting.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Pay attention, stay open. Yeah.
Perfect
Yeah.
timing.
Listen. Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say the quote. There's a whole wide world out there just past the door you never dared to enter.
Ooh, that's Gigi. Yeah? No, why do I keep thinking it's Gigi? I'm not doing really great right now. Okay. Melinda.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I get it on the second try. That's not too bad.
Melinda, do you want to talk on that at all?
That's a beautiful quote.
Yeah. So that's from a brand new song that I've been working on that I'm excited about. That I'm in a songwriting group. I started a songwriting group with some friends, and so each month we have a prompt, and somebody gives the prompt, and then we all write a song based on that prompt, which is fascinating to see what each person comes up with, and then we share and give each other feedback. So this line is from the song that I'm working on for this month. And again, it's about kind of what we were talking about before, the places that maybe we are scared to go or scared to look. The doors that we are hesitant to open often have the greatest treasure, right? Or the greatest possibility behind them.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
I should have known that was you right away. That's such a
All
great
right.
quote. So you wrote a song around that.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
The next quote, Jenny, is be here now.
Nicole.
Yes.
It was me. And I was thinking about it. I don't know if it's an actual quote. It's Ram Dass, right? He has a book called Be Here Now. And I've suddenly discovered him after all these years. I have no idea why I'd never heard of Ram Dass or really studied much of his work, but it's just a timely, maybe this will be my forever quote, but it's just a reminder. And it's been something that, even in the throes of packing up our life and all the business, responsibilities that I have still and just everything, right? If we can be here in this moment now, then that's the only thing we have to worry about. And so it's pretty self-explanatory, right?
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful
It
thing
is
and
good
so
one.
important
Simple, but it's very
to
a lot
remember.
of strength.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right,
Yeah.
Jenny.
Thank you for that reminder.
I am
Mm-hmm.
sorry. I am love. I am joy. I am peace. I am light. I am living and thriving in all aspects of my life.
Gigi.
If you say Frankie and not Gigi. Oh,
I
Gigi,
finally
do you
got
want to
it.
give us
Gigi.
some background of your quote?
I know, right?
It's something that has supported me in my own deep inner journeying, and especially in moments of when I am needing to return to center and remember who I am at my core. It's usually just the first four lines that I'm saying to myself: I am love, I am joy, I am peace, I am light. And it provides me with that reminder to pause and to take a deep breath and come back to center and be here now, to add into Nicole's So it's a teaching that comes from really all traditions, that we are from love, we are from light, we are pure joy, and we are peace at our innermost core. Yeah, and sometimes those words get overused, or they have many different meanings that we've attached to them in our lives. But for me, it's about coming back to the purity of each one of those as my essence.
Love that.
Perfect.
So good.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. That's a powerful statement.
Yeah. It is interesting though, because now seeing the quotes and hearing the quotes, I should say, it is so reflective of each person that has brought them to the table. So I will say that Frankie, being obviously the last quote is going to be from him. Do you want to read your quote, Frankie?
You want me to read it? I did hear
Yeah.
you that. Okay, yeah, my quote is be in the moment for it is all that truly exists. And Nicole, be here now came to me too. Jenny, actually, she probably doesn't remember, but that was one of the first people you recommended me to read was Ram Dass years ago. When you remember when you did that session with me, I remember the
Yeah.
book. I remember the book, the Be Here, his book, the blue book with the present moment, and that's pretty cool book. So yeah, you introduced me. But yeah, I mean, and that's my main thing, and it's so hard to do sometimes. Is just be present, and I like how you, Gigi, how you said take a deep breath and come back, because I truly believe every answer is in the present moment, and it has guided me. As I had that experience with my angels, I guess they were, um, to follow the signs, and the signs are in the present moment. Even down, it's so crazy. Like I'll be at Restaurant Depot where I get supplies, and I'll be walking by, and for whatever reason, I'll look to the left and I'll see something that we use, but it's not on my list. I'll put it on the cart 10 minutes later. Hey, we need such and such. Oh, I grabbed it. And I'm like, what is going on? You know what I mean? And so it's pretty cool. And like in meditation, like when I expedite Friday and Saturday nights, and it's complete utter chaos, 20, 30 checks hanging, but I'm so in the flow, it's like meditating for me. And it's pretty wild. I forget who mentioned, their work being meditation. Was it you, Gigi, that mentioned that? Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty wild. Yeah. So be in the moment, be
Mm,
here now.
I love it.
Okay, now I would like to take a moment to slow down and tune in. Jenny has agreed to invite her soul pod, who's represented by Marlena, to join us.
I
Now,
forgot.
for
Awesome.
all of us in this space, I will say that we are going into this with no expectations. If you would like to ask Marlena a question, it is extremely welcome. If you would like to just hold the space and listen, whatever is you're comfortable with. Um, we're not sure if Marlena is going to have a message for any individuals without questions, or if it's going to be a collective. Jenny said that she's not sure herself where it ever truly leads. So let's just hold this space for Jenny in this moment to tune in.
Yeah. Mm, mm, thank you, dear souls. We feel the presence of your energy. Mm. And if we can address whom we are speaking with, who is here in this moment with us.
Hi, Marlena. I'm Susie. I'm Jenny's sister. And we are here with a group of beautiful humans who have joined us. They have been past guests on our podcast, and we're coming together today to celebrate all that we collectively believe together and to share wisdom with each other and all that is good, basically. And I will let Gigi, would you like to say hello to Marlena?
Hello, Marlena. My name is Gigi.
Gigi. Please state your full name.
My given name is Janine Marie Chirillo. My nickname is Gigi.
Do we have permission to enter your energy field?
Yeah.
Thank you for this helps us to feel your presence, and we need an invitation to do so. Thank you for being here in this space, and we are here collectively as one voice, the highest light of this energy that we are embodying in this moment, this physicality of what you call Jennifer. Yes. We feel your presence as such light and joy. Thank you for your work in this world, in this planet. Who is leading this space in this moment? Who is guiding this energy here today?
I am Susie, Jenny's sister.
Your name is Susie, yes?
Yes.
And how may we serve you today?
Well, we've come together. Jenny asked us if we would be open to having you come in to talk to us, not only as a group, maybe there's a message that you would like to share with us, or possibly if anyone has a question, if you would be open to someone asking any questions to you.
Yes. Thank you for that clarification. We are always ready and willing and open to sharing whatever you would like to know or feel into. And as we are here with a group of souls, we need to ask permission. And you all who are here, just even nodding your head or shaking your head or putting a sign up to say, yes, you are willing to receive a message, to open your energy field to us.
Yes, I'll receive a message. You have my permission.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Marlena. You have permission.
Thank you.
Hi, Marlena. It's Karen Cubico. You have permission.
Thank you.
And yes, from me as well, Susie.
Thank you, dear ones. Now we can feel the energy completely and fully in our presence. We are now feeling into this experience of which you are all involved in this moment in time. This collective energy we feel is uplifting the grid for which is now so important to be holding steady, holding at a place where there is light being infused on the planet in such a way that hasn't happened in millennia. The light is shining down so greatly in this time space continuum of the planet itself. The planet is going through the awakening stage of its next evolution, and every soul on this planet is doing such a thing as well, in their own unique way, in their own voluntarily being here in this moment. And so now we feel this energy collectively as you are all in this space together, as this light grid that is illuminating and helping to uplift and carry the light that is now being infused in this solar system, and specifically where you are on this planet called Earth. Yes. And so we appreciate and honor each one of you in your beautiful wisdom and your light, for which you each carry and hold such a unique essence, of course, that is here for the awakening in your own individuated ways. For you have grown tremendously as you've been here on this planet thus far, and you're continuing to expand in your light body as you stay on this planet doing the gritty work, we say, the grit to be in such a density of third dimension. Thank you, dear souls.
Would anyone like to address Marlena with a question?
I have a question.
Yes.
Hi, Marlena. This is Karen Cubico. My question is, do you have any suggestions or focuses that we all can choose to carry or have for the upcoming year ahead?
Yes, such a good question, dear one. This coming year, you in your calendar, which you use in your timeline, yes, it is a year of expansive energy. Light codes are coming down so greatly on this planet from the outsources of movement. And your question is to how to establish. Yes, repeat, please.
So I'm asking just any inspiration for how to best manage or navigate, or inspiration for the next year's whatever we're meant to do.
You will
Not sure how
receive
to
the
explain that.
information. You will receive your next steps from your highest light, from your oversoul, from your guided wisdom that lives within you, and your guides that are around you, your guardian angel that lives in every moment with you, and your highest light will give you and show you the way. It is about trusting what is in the moment for you. We know and feel that each of you in this collective moment, in this space with this dear sister soul of Susie, who is holding the space here for you now. This is all a part of your evolution of expansive energy, where you allow yourself to trust from the deepest sense that you are continuously guided, daily, moment to moment, guided by your highest light, by your guides. And so we ask you to tune in more deeply to your inner self, to your soul who knows the way, trusting more in your inner wisdom, not seeking external validation or understanding from anyone other than yourself in this next phase is vital, for there will be louder noises around, louder voices that want to pull you in different directions. And it is vital that you do not listen to that, for those other voices perhaps are not always in the highest light, are not always in conjunction with your highest good. And so you must tune in to your inner self more and more greatly. And all who are listening to this in any aspect of their world, wherever you are on the planet, wherever you are in your journey of your soul's awakening, trust in this moment now, moving forward in this upcoming year on your calendar of your time, that you are more and more needed to listen inward. More and more is it important that you trust your intuition, your wisdom that lives within you. For the noise, as we say, will get louder. And do not want to be thwarted around and tossed and turned. And so finding the quiet stillness and trusting in what you receive from inside of yourself, knowing the difference between when your humanness is talking and when your highest light is expressing. There's a great difference in this space and the energies, trusting what you hear, and you will receive all that you need.
Thank you.
Marlena, I have a question. This is Nicole Thurman, Artabesi. I, in the world that is opening up, the Kali Yuga age that we're in of energy, souls are becoming more and more awakened and open. There's also souls that have been taught that the spiritual realm and the energetic ways are not true, and it's to be feared and hocus pocus or whatever you would like to call it. How do we represent well when asked, when there's searching souls for the deeper? How do we represent language in this human sphere purely and authentically, without control, without conversion? How do we represent what is taking place in a way that is authentic?
Such a beautiful question, dear one. For it is never about converting anyone to anything. Those who are still asleep, who are living in a place of disconnection with their highest self, not even perhaps believing they have a soul, believing that the material plane of existence is all that is real, they have the right and will to do so, to choose in that way. And if one chooses to feel that the soul, the spirit realms are hocus pocus and not reality, of course they have that, again, will and authenticity of their heart. That's how they feel. And we honor that. How you represent being in the light is truly by living in the high realms. When you live in the light and you live in a deep state of peace and joy, that emanates naturally out to others. They feel it, although they may not be aware of it deeply. For if you are living in the darkness, light can feel overwhelming and they don't want to feel it. They want to hide from it. And that is okay. Yet there is a deep sense of their soul feeling it and knowing it. The truth illuminates all things. Light cannot be overshadowed by the dark when it is turned on. And so, if you keep your light on and you stay in a place of a high frequency of love, joy, peace, then it cannot help but penetrate those who are living in the dark. Be the light. Be your authentic self. Show up with your wisdom and your truth. And if they are not wanting or willing to hear it, it is okay. Do not project anything onto anyone who is not ready to hear. And so you can quietly live in your lighthouse, shining, being the beacon of who and what you truly are. And again, that naturally penetrates and affects those who are not even ready to receive it. And your light will keep on shining. You will affect others, whether you realize it or not. It is vital that you keep your light on and you stay in a high frequency, especially during these next coming times on this planet, for there is great challenge ahead, great turmoil that is here just naturally. It always will be on this planet, for it is a duality. It is a, as you call it, a school. It is a place where great awakening happens. And so taking your time to trust, that you are living in the light, to take your time to keep it lit brightly by focusing on your center point, trusting and knowing that you are divine. Living in that knowing helps to fulfill your greatest purpose, which is first and foremost to awaken, and secondly, to help all others in their processes, for you are one.
Frankie,
Thank you.
Thank you.
did you
Yes,
want to ask something?
with Marlena, right?
Yes.
Marlena, this is Frank James Vitale. Who you're channeling through Jenny and Susie, I've had a special connection with for years and years, especially Jenny, some synchronicities with us. Would it be by chance have any connection with you as well? And um, also any message or advice to gain strength and focus to fulfill not only my mission, but everybody's mission here?
For Frank, we tap into your energy field more expansively. And we see that you and the soul here that we speak through this energy, you shared lifetimes. You have been in each other's realm for lifetimes. There is a deeper, longer connection here. You have experienced, yes, lifetimes being in satsang together, being in community together, being brothers together in previous life, being deep soul partners in previous lives. We see three lives that come to us right away in your experiences with this particular vessel which we are speaking through. We are a part of her soul tribe, her soul oversoul, the highest expression of this energy field. And you have been in that matrix with her several times. And so that is part of your question. Yes, the other part is your mission and how you move forward with strength. You are in the lightest phase of your existence in this human realm, in this human life time. Your heaviest energies are behind you. When we look at this linear, as you are living in a linear experience, linearly, you have experienced the darkest, heaviest times in your existence in this experience. And moving forward, there is more abundance, there is more joy, there is more giving, and there is this deep mission of giving back, of helping others lift up out of the dark pits of despair. You, dear one, are like an angel, lifting up, and we see your wings. Your wings as a dark color, a darkness, like black wings that come and scoop down those who are in the darkness to elevate and then set free to the light. It is a beautiful metaphor that we are seeing, and an expression of your ability to go into the depths with another, to go into the dark holes of despair with another. And so these black wings are like a scooping up of the soul who feels lost and in the dark, where you scoop it up and then you fill it with light and release it to the light. What a beautiful mission, dear soul. And we honor you, and we are so grateful for your presence at this time, in this world, and in this moment with us. Thank you.
No, thank you.
Wow.
So powerful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mm.
Would anyone else like to address Marlena? I will ask a question to you, Marlena. There is a lot of talk about the upcoming solstice. at the end of our calendar year. And I would just like to ask you if there's anything that you can, any information that you can provide for us around what is supposed to be something extra special with this solstice?
Yes, yes. This time on this planet and these upcoming days, which you see are in 24-hour calendars. These days coming are powerful. There is great energy in the solar system, powerful energy that is moving quickly around the solar system. And what these powerful energies are doing is embedding, imbuing light codes onto the planet and the planet surrounding. And so all of the energies are uplifting. There is great downloads of light codes coming onto all planets in the solar system. And this time in you refer to the solar what is the day? What is the day? December 21st is the day. This day on your calendar is a powerful day. Just before this, 2 days prior, is the closest this energy will be to this planet called Earth. And this is great moment and time to be out in the skies, under the skies, get out from the roofs, get out from the buildings of which you reside, step out onto the earth herself, onto the planet, and put your feet on her and put your arms out into the sky, open up your heart and tilt your head back and thank the heavens. The heavens, we say, are just the atmosphere. Thank, thank the planet and the solar system and the air and the water and the earth and all of the elements of the sky and the fire and all of the elementals that live that you do not see on this planet. All of the elementals that live in the planet herself and live underground and around where your eyes might not be able to witness, but they live and they breathe and they dance and they play. And they are holding the energies so tightly and closely in this realm of light codes coming down. There are so many light codes coming onto this planet. We encourage you to invite them in, for they are here. And when you invite them into your energy field even more strongly, they come into your being. For this is helping to clearly lighten up this load. And you are now in this yuga that is higher. You have exited fully and completely the age of materialism, which is called Kali Yuga, this deeper, darker essence. You are now in what you call the age of energy, what you call Dwapara Yuga. And this is where more expansive energies come to the planet. And it is happening now, in this moment, in this time frame, where this beautiful energy is floating and flying, not floating, flying around your solar system, depositing great light codes, uplifting and opening to greater awareness. Your world will look different in the coming decades, so different you will not even witness, understand, remember this as where you are now. It will change greatly in beautiful ways. Challenges ensue, as always they will, yet there is a great opening and a new frontier ahead.
Wow. Thank you so much. Is there anything, Marlena,
Mm,
before we release you that you would like to share with the group or with all of our listeners collectively?
Thank you for this opportunity to express ourselves. Know that what we say and who we are is coming from the purest openness, space of light and love. We come from a place of love. You are love. Everything is love. The denser, darker energies, when they are condensed, love can be forgotten. It is now time to wake up to the loving energy of which you all are, which you are made of. Remember that love is the essence of every atom of creation. And when you are living in love, walking in love, sharing love, and feel love, you are in the highest light. Love is always the answer. And we thank you for your attention, your time, and your willingness to be embodied in a human form on this planet at this time. There is greatness here, and we are honored to be a witness to it and a part of it by being able to speak through this vessel whom is so gracious to open her heart to us. For we are a part of her and she is a part of us. And we are a part of you and you are a part of all that is. Remember this, dear ones, for your highest light is with you always. And you too can tap in to your highest energy and receive all the answers that you ever need, for they reside within you. Thank you.
Thank you, Marlena. We release you now.
Hmm. It's always a little embarrassing to come out of this.
No.
Like, what is happening?
It's beautiful.
It is.
Eventually, we'll all be able to communicate this way, and it won't be because we'll all be in that same space, right?
You are. You already are, I think.
Or we are. True.
There's nothing that you can't already do. Woo! Okay, sorry. It's like shivering. It's so weird.
Does anyone want to ask Jenny any questions about that experience? Okay,
You-
just wanted to.
No, I
Go
have
ahead.
questions. No, when did you start doing this? It's amazing. Or how did
Frank.
how did it come about? Like, were you like meditating and Marlena came, or how did it start?
No, it actually started with my friend Christina Crow.
Okay.
I guess it'll be 2 years in the spring. She was giving me a past life regression session, actually. And we did a couple of those sessions, and then it was our third session in the regression, and then this other energy came through that I don't remember it,
Right.
but Christina was like, what is that?
Right.
And then she started asking questions. Well, it was just giving information, I think. And then afterwards she said, oh my goodness, that was incredible. Can we do it again? And I just kept saying yes.
Right.
I was like, okay, you know what's happening.
Right.
I couldn't imagine this would ever happen through me, or it feels so, it's been very difficult for me to accept this, honestly.
I bet.
finally accepted it. I guess, I don't even know when, I guess maybe early this year is when I said, okay, well, here's what happened is we had a retreat in Austin, in Wimberley in April. And in April, Stephen, who is my teaching partner, and he is a medium, and we were going to do a session in the retreat that was something else. We had a different thing planned. And then I gave a session for the first time in person to somebody before the retreat, and it was really powerful for the person. It was really intense. And so all the feedback I get, I'm like, okay, I don't really know, but it's working. People are getting something out of it.
Oh, yeah.
So the retreat ended up kind of was put on the spot a little bit, but a little bit preemptively on the spot. And I said, yes, I'll do it in front of all the retreat people. Melinda was there and Nicole was there.
Awesome.
And so I channeled in front of everybody, and it was, again, I didn't remember. I don't remember most of what I channel. I'm a little bit more at this stage. Like I can remember a little bit, and I will remember visions that come through when someone says this. I'm like, oh yeah, I saw that. And, you know, I'll get images, but it's mostly, clear, cognizant. It just comes right to me. And so it's not, there's no filter in terms of me saying, you know, Jenny's out of it. I'm like totally gone.
Right.
And so that retreat experience, people had a good experience. And so then that's when I said, okay, well, that was kind of my coming out party is what I say. And then I channel through, you know, people sign up for an individual session.
Oh yeah, we're definitely having one. Did you remember what they said about how we were brothers in 3 previous lives? We were together. We were brothers of one in satsang, as I guess as yogis. So cool. Because I just, you know, just through our special connection, I was like, they were like, oh yeah. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, Frankie, that's awesome to hear.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So awesome.
Yeah.
And Jenny, sorry, Susie, real quick, Jenny, I know some people have heard this when you've channeled previously, and but for anybody listening that is like, what the heck was that? Marlena, is this someone that she's channeling from another life? If you could just explain for anybody to just clear up any confusion. There's a lot of woo-woo, as they call it, out there, and I just would love for people to know the purity of this.
That's a great question, Nicole, or great feedback.
Yeah, no, it's weird because when it first happened, Christina Crow explains this so much better than I do because she's witnessed it and I've kind of not. But I do know that from what she's shared so many times is that the soul, when Christina first had this experience with me, she said, well, who is this? What is this entity? What is this? And they said, it's a collection. And I do remember a very vivid imagery where I was like lying. I went to this place, you know, whatever. And I saw this collection of stars, and then the stars formed a half crescent moon, and I was lying in it, and then it kind of wrapped itself around me. And they call themselves the soul pod, which I believe is a collection of a lot of my soul family. But it's my highest self that is speaking through. And Christina said, well, is there a name? Like, can we call you a name? And so they just gave the name Marlena. I mean, as a way to, connect with them. It's not like a female Marlena. You know what I mean?
That's not the point, right? It's not a human form, right?
Right. It's very bizarre.
Yeah.
And I get it. Like, a skeptic, like, be skeptical. Don't trust this. I love that. And it's really about just how I think I love to work with skeptics and then just trust that whatever, you know, you can believe it or not, but the experience that everybody has had has been telling for me, like, okay, this must be something. I mean, people are crying and really getting a lot out of it. And
it's awesome.
I don't know.
Yeah, and I'll attest, I mean, Melinda was there, but when she did this, like, kind of publicly at the retreat, I mean, there were probably 15 of us in this circle, and it was fascinating. I mean, you had people, and I won't, disclose identities, but you had people, reporters, you had people that were, worked for the government, you had farmers, you had all sorts of people, and it was unanimous. I mean, they gave messages to each person. Awesome. And the tears that were flowing, the emotion that was awoken, and the safety people felt through the messages, it was one of the coolest things to ever witness. And so, there is absolute evidence of powerful outcome in just communicating this way.
Amazing.
It's encouragement.
Absolutely.
So whenever you started channeling through, that definitely is an occurrence that can happen when someone is experiencing a past life, where you get so deep in and your spirit guides and other beings connected directly with you here in this humanness come through because they really need to get their point out or their word across, and talk with or that. And it's really about bringing that knowledge and understanding into the collective consciousness so that we're consciously aware of it and it's brought back into our awareness so much so that we're all connecting into that information.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's such a treat every time
It's amazing.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow. Yeah. Well, Jenny, thank you for allowing us all to witness that today. And
Mhm.
for those that are just listening, to get to hear the
Agreed.
voice of Marlena, which is just an absolute gift. And before we go, first of all, just this has been so fun, and I appreciate you all so much. And I do want to ask one last question to everyone.
Uh,
And let's start with Melinda. Melinda, one word that you are calling in for 2026, since we are now into the new year approaching.
Great question. I don't know yet because I usually do my year-end reflections right around the solstice, which we sort of touched into earlier. Um, but the word that's coming is joy, which is also my middle name.
I love that. I love that. Okay. So, Gigi, what is one word that you are calling in for 2026?
Similar to Melinda, I haven't gotten there yet personally. But one word that is always at the forefront for me is curiosity.
Mhm.
Nice. Curiosity. I love that. And can you elaborate a little bit why curiosity?
Having curiosity helps, I've experienced personally, it helps me to remain open to different perspectives and to learning and growing. And for me, turning the reflections that I'm receiving outside of myself back inwards.
Okay.
Nice.
I like that. That's good.
Love it.
I'll
Yes.
leave it at that.
Okay. And Nicole, one word you're calling in for 2026.
Yes, I always have a word, and I have not thought about it yet either. But I think going deep within in a few seconds, I think the word that I'm calling in for myself and my family unit here for the year will be watch, to physically watch. And I think what I mean by that is a lot of life I've driven or attempted to drive. And there's been years that I had security and stability. And I think this year arriving on the islands, it's an opportunity to do a year differently. And I want to watch and see what will unfold and
Mm.
wait for it to happen. Right. And so I
Mhm.
want to be awake enough to watch what's happening versus action.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Very
yeah.
good.
That's good. And how about Karen?
So that's such a great question. My first word that I thought of was peace, but then I'm like, no, change, because that drove my entire 2025. Because if I came across this quote, if you keep doing the same thing, nothing's going to change.
Mhm.
And so being on your podcast was something new. You know what I mean? And I was trying to find places to do that. So change is, I mean, can be for the better always. We're
Yeah,
always
I love change.
striving
Mm-hmm.
to be better.
Yeah. Good one. Frankie, what
I
is
feel
one
like
word?
that's super important.
Yeah, it is super important for sure. One word, Frankie, that you are calling in for 2026?
yes. It came to me surrender for whatever reason, and then I was like, why surrender? And then the more and more I thought about it, is just surrender to my mission, surrender to whatever the mission unfolds, and go deeper into it. it's to me, it's like coming to me like it's a different surrender. It's not like, I don't know, like surrender in a war. It's like just surrender to what I need to do and from here forth.
Mm-hmm.
Good one too. Jenny, what is one word that you would like to call in for 2026?
Well, I've been saying abundance 2.0, but I'm not set on that yet because abundance was my word from this year, 25, and it's been an incredible year of abundance in all ways, and but I'm feeling like that's probably going to shift. And the word that came to me earlier was stillness. And so I am calling in deeper stillness for myself. Longer, deeper stillness. That's
Love
what I
that.
need.
Well,
Susie, what's yours?
Oh, my word is trust. Trust.
Nice.
Before we do end this beautiful discussion, is there anyone that wants to leave any last words to our listeners?
Thank you for this beautiful time we shared together. I appreciate you bringing us all together.
Yeah, thank you so much. This has been a joy, and really, I know everyone's time is valuable, and so we honor and appreciate your time that you've put, given us so much in this space. So thank you so much for your time.
Yes.
Thank you guys.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you,
Yes.
everyone.
Thank you for
Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Such a pleasure meeting all of you.
Mm-hmm.
And
Like,
Namaste, everyone. Big love, big hugs
Namaste.
to you all.
bye.
bye.
much love. Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the Sister Sessions podcast. If you found inspiration in today's conversation, we'd love it if you shared the episode with your besties, family, or even your favorite neighbors. We'll be back next time with more to share, but until then, remember, meditation is the key to unlocking your inner peace. All is well, friends. See you soon.